It is better to serve than to be served. That is how I define servant leadership. Servant leadership is not all about you as a leader. It is about others. It's about other people. Let me walk you through 4 points that I hope each of you integrate in your lives. The first point is serving others. When you serve others first, everything else falls in line. Let me provide to you an example. There was a place I worked where if you were 1 minute late, you were written up. So if you were downstairs trying to get water, trying to get tea, trying to get coffee or breakfast, and you came to your desk and you were late, you were written up. Well, what I did, I started to think of others first. And I asked my team, if you would come on in, log on in, and be at your desk at our start time, I would go downstairs. I'll get your coffee, your tea, your water, your morning breakfast, so that you would not be late. This is an activity that I did for months on end. The team appreciated me thinking of them first to make sure that they were at work on time, but yet and still got the fundamental things in which they needed, their water, their tea, their coffee in the morning. Did I have to do that? No, I did not. But I did it because I thought of others first, which is the first point I wanted to discuss. The second point that I want to discuss is empathy and listening to others. I've heard people say, check all of your emotions at the door and just come on in and work. Well, that's not possible for everyone. As a leader, I challenge you to pay attention to each and every person in your department, each and every person on your team. If you would take the time to pay attention to each person, you can tell by the way an individual walks into the building that morning if they've had a bad morning or if things aren't just going right for that person. Asking that person how their morning is going would mean the world to them. Sometimes people need a moment to gather their thoughts, to gather their emotions. As a leader, if you would give an individual just a few minutes to gather themselves, that would show not only that person, but other people in your department that you have a sense of empathy for everyone in their department, that you are willing to listen. The third point is empowerment and development. Take the time to empower and develop the people that are around you. I would often take the time in which I would do performance reviews, mid-year reviews, to identify who's willing to grow, who's willing to develop. And then ask, where are you wanting to go? How are you wanting to grow? What's your ideal job? From that point, I would set goals for that particular individual on their performance review to help them gain those skills so that they can move on to another department. When you do that, you set yourself apart from the other leaders in your department. The final point is ethical leadership. This is doing the right thing even when people aren't looking. I've worked with a lot of individuals as leaders who do not want to come out and say that I've made a mistake or I'm wrong. To me, I've always been a leader to where if I've made a mistake, I don't mind telling you that I've made a mistake. As a leader, I don't even mind telling you if I do not have the answer, but I'm willing to find the answer and bring it back to you. Being that transparent, being that honest are the true traits of an ethical leader. Making sure that if there is a mistake on the performance review, or if a discussion is not going quite the way you desire that discussion to be able to change and to operate with integrity. Operate with integrity, even when the person across from you may not be operating with integrity. Just because you think of others first, you're willing to grow and develop people, and you operate with integrity does not make you a soft leader. By following these 4 points, what it will do for you is separate you from the other leaders. And it will show that you are a diamond leader and not just a regular leader.